What would you do if you walked into the very store you built with your own sweat and tears, only to be treated like trash by your own employees? That morning, Ethan Blake, the founding CEO of Spark Mobile, wore an old t-shirt and a faded cap, quietly stepping into the store like any other stranger. No one recognized him. No one cared. Just a few minutes later, he heard something he never wanted to believe. Mocking scornful words simply because of his humble appearance. And then Ethan made a decision. Today would be the day this store relearned its first and most important lesson. Kindness has no dress code. Soft sunlight stretched across the city sidewalks, reflecting off the gleaming glass of the storefronts. Amidst the bustling crowd, a middle-aged man wearing a dark, worn t-shirt and a faded cap quietly pushed open the door to Spark Mobile, one of the most famous mobile phone chains in America. He didn't stand out. In fact, if you glanced at him, you might think he was just a construction worker finishing his shift, or a man lost amidst the bustling streets. No one knew that man was Ethan Blake, the elusive founder and CEO of the entire store chain. No secretary, no bodyguards, no luxury car parked out front. Only an old leather wallet in his pocket, and a quiet plan brewing in his mind. Ethan had heard the rumors spreading within the company. Employees choose how to treat customers based on the clothes they wear. He was determined not to let that stain everything he had poured his sweat into building. Today he would see it with his own eyes. No fame, no authority, just another ordinary customer. And after only a few steps inside the store, Ethan could already feel it. The answer he was looking for was waiting just ahead. The doorbell chimed softly as Ethan stepped inside. The air in the store was cool, the LED lights reflecting his shadow across the polished tile floor. At the front desk, two young female employees were leaning against the counter giggling. The moment they spotted Ethan, a blonde girl wearing a name tag that read, Ashley glanced him up and down, then whispered to her co-worker in a voice that wasn't even trying to be discreet. Another country bumpkin. Probably just here to window shop. No way he can afford anything. Both of them burst into quiet laughter, their fingers still tapping away on their phones, not even bothering to greet him. Ethan heard every word. Each syllable struck his ears like a blow. He clenched his hand lightly inside his pocket, but his face remained calm as if nothing had happened. He knew this moment was exactly why he was here today. Without a word, Ethan quietly made his way toward the display section. He pretended to be absorbed in examining the newest phone models, while Ashley's gaze continued to trail after him, a mixture of boredom and disdain. No one in the store knew. The man they had just looked down upon was the very person who held the power to decide the future of this entire place with a single nod. And Ethan knew too. If they treated him like this, it certainly wasn't the first time. He took a deep breath. The real test was only just beginning. Ethan made his way to the flagship display counter, the section showcasing the most high-end phone models. His eyes settled on a brand-new device with a listed price of over $1,500. He turned to Ashley, who was standing nearby with her hands on her hips, and asked gently, "Excuse me, could you tell me if this model is available for installment payments?" Ashley rolled her eyes and sighed as if she had just heard the most ridiculous question of the day. She gave him a quick once-over from his worn-out shoes to his faded cap and rumpled t-shirt, then replied curtly, her voice dripping with irritation and contempt. "Installments. You're not eligible if you want to buy it. Pay in full." Before Ethan could even react, he caught Ashley whispering to her coworker, her voice laced with mockery. Probably just asking to sound fancy? No way he can afford a flagship phone. This time, Ethan allowed himself a faint smile, but it wasn't out of amusement. It was out of disappointment. He didn't give up. Still maintaining his calm demeanor, Ethan pointed to another phone model. "What about this one?" Ashley didn't even bother to respond. She absent-mindedly turned her face away, lazily scratching at the peeling polish on her nails. No patience, no respect, no professionalism. Ethan stood there in the midst of a brightly lit store, yet he felt utterly invisible. If someone had been filming this scene, they might have thought it was a satirical sketch about the worst kind of customer service. But amidst the dim glow of that moment, Ethan noticed something else. Someone standing at a distance was watching everything unfold with a very different look in their eyes. Just as the atmosphere in the store thickened with Ashley's cold indifference, a young, cheerful voice called out from behind Ethan, "Can I help you with anything, sir?" Ethan turned around. A young man wearing a slightly oversized Spark Mobile uniform, his hair tousled from just removing his helmet, was beaming with a bright smile. His name was Ryan, the newest employee at the store. Ryan hurriedly stepped over a little clumsy, nearly slipping on his slick shoes and almost knocking over a display case. Ethan couldn't help but chuckle, his first genuine smile since he had entered the store. Ryan scratched his head awkwardly but quickly regained his composure. "Sorry about that, sir. I just got back from delivering a phone to a customer. But I'm here now. Whichever model you're interested in, I'll walk you through it from A to Z. Not a single judgmental glance, not a single look that sized him up from head to toe. Just pure, simple sincerity." Ryan picked up a brand-new flagship phone, carefully wiping its screen with a specialized cloth, and while handling it, he explained, "You know, sir, this model has a super flexible installment plan. We also offer special options for customers who might not have strong credit histories. The important thing is everyone deserves a chance to own the latest technology." Ryan spoke as if he were introducing the phone to a family member, not just to a stranger in worn-out clothes. Ethan listened silently, his eyes gradually softening. From a distant corner, Ashley stood with her arms crossed, watching the scene unfold, a mocking smirk curling at her lips. But Ethan knew the young man standing before him, with his awkward smile and genuine heart, was exactly the reason Spark Mobile had been created in the first place, a small flicker of light in a store that had almost been swallowed by darkness. After listening to Ryan's earnest consultation, Ethan gave a faint smile. He pointed to the most expensive flagship phone on the shelf, asking, as if he were weighing a very important decision, "If I were to buy, what would be the fastest way to pay, son?" Ryan lit up. "Well, sir, you can swipe your card right away or transfer online. And if you need, we even offer home delivery." Ethan nodded. He calmly reached into the pocket of his faded jeans and slowly pulled out an old leather wallet. From across the store, Ashley muttered loudly enough for nearby customers to hear, "Let's see if he pulls out a Walmart card or some shared discount card." A few giggles rippled from the group of employees gathered behind the counter. But then, contrary to everyone's assumptions, Ethan pulled out a sleek jet-black card with small, finely embossed letters that read, "Ethan Lee, founder and CEO, Spark Mobile Group." Ryan's eyes widened in shock. For Ashley, who had been lazily yawning, she froze mid-motion, her eyes bulging as if she had just seen a ghost in broad daylight. Ethan calmly handed the card to Ryan. The young employee, hands trembling, accepted it and scanned it through the POS system. A sharp ping echoed. The scanner screen flashed a bright green alert. System alert VIP. Customer CEO level call. Manager immediately. The entire store fell into stunned silence. 1 second, 2 seconds passed. Then a receptionist stammered, pointing at the screen. Ethan Blake. No way. It can't be. Ryan stumbled back half a step, his face flushing deep red, bowing repeatedly as he stuttered, Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I mean, Mr. Blake. Ethan chuckled softly, waving his hand to signal Ryan to calm down. And Ashley. She stood frozen like a statue, her mouth hanging open, her hands trembling so violently that the pen on the counter slipped from her grasp and rolled onto the floor. If there had been a competition for fastest facial expression, change, Ashley would have easily taken first place. No one said a word. Only the low hum of the air conditioning and the chaotic pounding of guilty hearts filled the silence. The entire store remained motionless. No one dared to move. Only Ethan. The man with the humble appearance stepped forward. Slowly, he removed his faded cap, revealing neatly combed silver hair beneath it. His gaze swept across the room, calm yet piercingly cold. Ethan turned his eyes directly to Ryan, his voice warm but firm. Young man, thank you. You've reminded me why I built Spark Mobile in the first place. Ryan bowed deeply, his hands clenched tightly, torn between anxiety and overwhelming emotion. Then Ethan turned to Ashley. His voice dropped sharp as a razor. And as for you, he paused, letting the heavy silence stretch unbearably long, starting. Tomorrow, you won't need to come back here anymore. Ashley opened her mouth to say something, but no words came out. Her eyes shimmered with tears, not from sorrow, but from pure fear. Ethan didn't shout. He didn't rage. There was only a commanding silence, the kind that sent chills down the spines of everyone present. He turned away, took a few slow steps, then paused. Without looking back, he left behind a sentence, soft as a whisper, but heavy as a hammer. At Spark Mobile, we don't sell phones. We sell kindness. No one dared to breathe too loudly. Only the quiet click of the glass door echoed as it closed behind the man who had just taught them a lesson they would never forget. The next morning, as the lights flickered on at Spark Mobile, the entire staff was summoned to the meeting room. There were no lengthy speeches, no flashy PowerPoint presentations. Only Ethan Blake, dressed in a simple blue suit, standing at the center of the room, his eyes burning with renewed conviction. He spoke, his voice firm and unwavering. Starting today, every employee will participate in a new training program. Serve with your heart, not with your eyes. The room fell completely silent. Ethan continued, "We do not judge our customers by the clothes they wear or the shoes on their feet. We deliver value to everyone with unconditional respect." His eyes came to rest on Ryan, the young employee tucked away in the corner of the room, looking as if he were just a small cog in a vast machine. Ethan smiled warmly and beckoned Ryan Cooper. "Step forward." Ryan, flustered and awkward, stumbled his way to the center of the room. Ethan reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out a neatly sealed envelope, and placed it firmly into Ryan's hands. His voice was deep and steady. "This is your promotion letter. Starting today, you are the branch manager of Spark Mobile Downtown location. And here's a little bonus. A full scholarship to study business administration at any school of your choosing. The entire room erupted into applause. Ryan stood frozen, his eyes welling up, struggling to hold back tears. He stammered, I don't deserve this. I was just doing my job. Ethan placed a reassuring hand on Ryan's shoulder and gave it a firm squeeze. It's because you just did your job with a true heart that you deserve it. In that moment, the room seemed to light up. The cold, indifferent air was gone, replaced by shimmering eyes full of hope. A reminder that kindness still had a place, even in a world driven by profit. That afternoon, as the golden rays of the setting sun poured down onto the streets, Ethan Blake stood alone in front of the glass window of Spark Mobile. Through the clear pane, he saw Ryan carefully assisting an elderly woman in choosing a phone, a genuine smile lighting up his face. Other employees were bustling about tidying up, greeting customers, their eyes brighter, their demeanor warmer. No more coldness, no more whispered mockery. Only real people truly serving from the heart. Ethan squinted slightly, his gaze slowly lifting to the new sign hanging just inside the glass. At Spark Mobile, every customer is a friend, he nodded gently. No need for further speeches, no need for more applause. Ethan pulled his faded cap back over his silver hair and turned away, his footsteps slow but steady, blending into the busy crowd of the city streets. At that very moment, a golden beam of sunlight streamed through the Spark Mobile sign, casting the shadow of the word kindness across the pavement, like a quiet reminder. Anywhere in the world, all it takes is one person who holds steadfast to kindness, and the world around them will slowly begin to change. And Ethan knew. Real change always starts with the smallest things. That day, Spark Mobile didn't just sell a few more phones. They sold something far more precious than trust. Trust that even in a busy and indifferent world, there are still people willing to serve with their whole hearts. Trust that kindness, though small, can ignite great transformations. Ethan Blake didn't need to hang a medal on the wall nor carve his name onto a golden plaque. He only needed to see the light in Ryan's eyes, the smile on the elderly woman's face as she purchased her new phone, and the regret shimmering in the eyes of those who had once mocked him. And in that moment, under a sun-drenched city sky, Ethan understood. Sometimes the greatest strength of a leader isn't their power, but their ability to restore faith in kindness. He smiled softly and walked away, the sunlight stretching gently at his feet, like a silent greeting to a brand new day.